In this today's session, we are going to discuss the concept of functions. Once the functions concept is completed, then we are ready to move to the programs. Okay, so coming to the function, what is a function? What are the different types and how to use the function? Everything we will discuss from the scratch. First of all, what is mean by function? For example, you are writing some program. Within the program, assume one task is there. The task is performed. Assume the task consists of some five lines. Just a simple example. The task consists of five lines. Suppose in your program the task to be repeated some 3 to 4 times. What you do? So the five lines are written all the 4 times, all 4 times. Here observe what happened. The same code is repeated multiple number of times. That is the one point. Another point is, if you want to do any modification on a particular thing, you need to change all the 4 times. If there is an error at a particular point, the size of the program is increases. It is difficult to identify the errors, difficult to correct the errors. Anyway, the repetition of the things happened. To overcome such a problem and to improve the concept of reusability, the concept of functions comes into existence. Clear? That is the reason. Now, what is a function? Function is simply a part of the program. Within the function, generally we are doing one activity, one task. For example, I will write down a function for addition of two numbers. I will write down a function to check whether a given number is even number or odd number. Like that, to perform one activity, we are using function. Generally, one function do one activity. Even remember, within the function, you can write any number of activities. That is not a problem. But to maintain the reusability, one function do one task. Okay, that is the concept. What is the syntax? This syntax is completely different to Java C. What is the syntax? DEF is the keyword. So this is the starting of the page. DEF is the keyword. Define. We are defining a function. Here we are writing the name of the function. So according to the rules of identifier, that means begin with underscore or begin with an alphabet, does not begin with a digit. Based on the properties of identifier, you can give any name according to your requirement, followed by parenthesis. Here you are writing parameters, colon. So just to in the while loop, for loop you discussed, you understand colon. What is a colon? In Python, there is no concept of flower bracket to represent a block of statements. Block means set. To represent a set of statements, there is no concept of flower brackets in function in Python. Then how to represent? By using indentation. If you press colon, if you write, sorry, if you type colon and press enter, the cursor is at this position. For example, here I write statement 1, next to statement 2, next to statement 3. For example, some statement n. This is a function. These are the body. That is, this is the block. Next line. Once the function is completed, I am starting from here only. Here. Now you got it. These are the set of statements with the same indentation. Indentation in the sense space. Indentation in the sense space. So the set of statements with the same indentation, that is called a block. Here the block is the function. Now, like this, we are defining a function in our program. For example, def def add of a comma b colon. So def, for example, instead of add, suppose I used the method some calculate of a comma b colon. Here observe the syntax. Def specifies we are defining a function. Calculate is the name of the function. Here a comma b are parameters. What is mean by parameter? Simply parameters are input to the function. Parameters are input to the function. Input means to perform addition of two numbers, I need two numbers. The two numbers are called input. Now within this one, what I am doing, observe, C is equal to A plus B. For example, colon is not required. D is equal to A minus B. Print C, print D. Now here, continue. For example, some statement N, statement X, like this. Here, this is a block. This entire thing is called function definition. This entire thing is called function definition. How can you say these are the set of statements with the same space, same indentation? Now, everyone need to remember one point. The function definition is not executed until you call the function. That is, whenever you are calling the function, then only the function definition is executed. Now come back to the previous example. What I said, one task is there, the task is repeated four times. Now if you are using function, what you are doing, in one function I return the task whenever I need. Instead of writing all, simply I call. Whenever I call, control goes to here and the operation is performed. So instead of writing these 6 to 7 lines, single line is sufficient. You got it? That is function. But everyone remember, without calling, the function is not executed. Whenever you call, then only function is executed. How to call? Simply calculate of some 2 comma 3. We call the function by using the name of the function. Any parameters are there, you can pass. Now I think you understand what happened. 2 is copied into A, 3 is copied into B. Based on the order, the parameters. Remember, somebody called as arguments. Both are same. Either parameters or arguments are passed. Now, I will explain this function definition and function calling with one example. With one example program. New. First, generally, first to write down the function definitions in your Python file. Def, for example, calculate of a comma b. C is equal to A plus B. Observe here, I am not moving the cursor. Again, I will show you. Here, cursor is there. Right now, I am pressing just enter. Again, I will remove this one also. Don't confuse. Here, I am writing the calculate, place the colon. Now, I just to press enter. So, cursor is at a particular position. If you are writing set of statements with the same indentation, that is the body of the calculate method. Suppose C is equal to A plus B. Here I performed addition. Press enter. D is equal to A minus B. Observe, print. I am printing the information. Addition is comma C. Here within the print statement, if you written anything inside the quotation, that is exactly printed. If you are writing a variable name, the value is printed. Now what is the answer? Addition is C value, whatever you are getting, that is printed. Now print subtraction is like this. You got it? In the print statement, if you are written anything in the quotation, exactly that is printed. If you written a variable name, the value in that variable is displayed. Press enter. If you type any set of statements here, that is under function. My definition is completed. Give one backspace. Whenever your definition is completed, give one backspace. For example, x is equal to 2, y is equal to some 3. Now call the method calculate of x comma y. Remember, no need to assign some variables, and here you can pass 2 comma 3 directly also, not a problem. So 2 is assigned to x, 3 is assigned to y. Next time passing x comma y. No, not at all required. Here in place of x comma y, if you want, you can write directly calculate of 2 comma 3. What happened? The value of x is copied into A. The value of y is copied into B. Now run. See, addition is 5, subtraction is -1. Again remember, sir, here only x comma y. You can write a comma b also, not a problem. This ab and the definition ab both are different. This ab, this ab. See, now here very important. First, you need to understand in this entire program, first which statement is executed. First, this statement is executed. This statement is executed. Why? It has zero indentation. Next to this statement is executed. Next to this statement is executed. This is a function calling. Whenever you are calling the function, so it call the function and perform the operation here. And once that function is completed, for example, print, I print some message welcome. Understand? Whenever you are calling the function definition, goes here, the operation is performed fine. Again, come back with the next statement. Come back with the next statement. Okay, don't forget to run this module. See, addition is 5, subtraction is -1. Go to the function definition, operation is performed, and come back and continue with the next program. I think you got it. But always remember, until you call this is, even though this is at the beginning of the program, that is not at all executed. Not at all executed. This is called function, and calling the function, operation is performed here, and the result also displayed here. Result also displayed here. Now one more statement I will add, that is return. What is mean by return? The name itself specifies. I call the function with some parameter. The operation is performed inside the function and it produces some results. If you want, you can print the result at the same function, or else whatever the result you are getting, you can return the result to who call. I call the function, goes to definition, execute there, it return the result to me. I will do whatever I want, I will do. Think you got the point? Now see this one. For example, first I will remove this one. This is hash. In the python, before a line, if you written hash symbol before a line, if you written hash symbol means that is considered as a comment. Comment is not executed, just for understanding. So what, this statement is not executed, this statement is, anyway I will remove, but this statement is not executed. Here, instead of printing the addition, instead of printing the answer here, I will use the return keyword. Return is a keyword, observe the color C. Okay, which statement is executed first? Again, first this statement is executed, next this statement is executed, and I am calculate the method. I call the calculate method. Here the operation is performed. In the previous example, what you are doing, there only you are printing the value, there only you are printing the value. Now, instead of printing the value in the method, I return the value to who call. Who call? Calculate. So this calculate return C. If you return value, if you have a return value means you need a variable to store. Yes or no? X is equal to, you know the general meaning, C is equal to A plus B. What happened? First A plus B addition is performed, that result is stored in C. Similarly, first A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3, and calculate of A comma B. I am calling that method. So simply control goes to here. Whenever the statement is executed, control goes to here, perform the operation, and return. What is my answer? C. And return C. So now this entire thing is replaced with the return value. Now the return C value is assigned to X. Now print X. You got it? I call the method, it returns some value. That value is assigned to a variable X. So if I am printing X, it performs addition, that is displayed. See, 2 plus 3, 5. Here I written X. X means 2 plus 3, 5. You got it? This is the function. This is the function, not completed. This is the function definition, function calling. How to call the function with parameters. Without parameter means if you are not passing anything, and return. Python has one more advantage. Generally in C, C++, Java, in one return statement, you can return a single value. By using one return statement, you can return only a single value. But in Python, you have single, instead of single return, multiple returns are also possible. Return C comma D. Return C comma D. That means in the previous example, it returns one value. That value is stored in X and print X. Here, how many values I returned? One is C addition, another one is the subtraction. Now this X, I think you know that one, X comma Y. Sir, Y X comma Y. Here it returns two values. Now this is replaced with two values. The left side must have two variables. C is assigned to X, D is assigned to Y. D is assigned to Y. See, addition, subtraction, two values are returned. I think you got it. This is the but not more than one line. First line return C, next line return D, next line return E. That is not possible. You can return multiple values in a single written statement. Multiple values in a single written statement. Okay, fine. So function is completed, return is completed. You can return any number of values, but everyone don't forget the most important thing, the function. What is here important? It returns two values. In the sense here must and should two variables are. Suppose if you are not interested, you can directly use the print statement. What is happened in the previous, take the value, assign to some variables, and then use the print statement. Instead of that, you can directly call with the print statement. Whatever values that are written, those are printed automatically. Those are printed automatically. The basic step is completed. Everyone understand the basic creation of a function. Now I will move to some additional access points. That is types of arguments or parameters. Remember, at the time of writing your functions concept in programs, we are passing the parameter. Here, the parameters are categorized into different types. First, for your simplicity, I will explain one example. I am for example, my function name is some student details. My program is simply read and display. Simply read some student information and display the information. What are the things? Roll number, name, age, gender, for example, phone number, mail ID, branch, college name, etc. These are the parameters. Now, here at the time of calling the function, in which order you need to pass the parameter? Is all the parameters are required to pass? Any exemptions are there? Depending upon situations, we will take one by one. Generally, these parameters are divided into different types. Positional arguments are required argument. Required argument or positional argument. What is the meaning? I will explain with one simple example. First, I will remove entire example. Def display, for example, roll number, age, name. I have three parameters: roll number, age, name, colon, print roll number, print age, print name. Fine. So my program is just to read the information, roll number, age, name. I am not doing any modification. Print the value. Now call the method display roll number 1, age 20, name ABC. So which one is executed first? First, this is executed except to function definition. Whatever the line is there at the zero indentation, that is executed. So first, this display is executed. Whenever this is executed, how many number of parameters? Here I have three parameters. How many number of values you need to pass? Three values. So that means required. How many I required? I required three arguments. You are passing three arguments. What is the procedure? 1 is copied into roll number, 20 is copied into age, ABC is copied into name. So positional, we are copy according to the first position. First position in the function calling, move to first position in the function definition. One position, second position, third position. You got it? Now execute. See roll number, name, ABC. Here I am printing. For example, here one function is called any number of times. Yes or no? That is advantage 2 comma some 30 comma XYZ. Okay. Now, if you execute this one, how many I required? I required 3. How many I pass? I pass 3. In which order? That is required argument. So 2 is copied in roll number, 30 is copied into age, XYZ is copied into name. See, these are the first two calling. This is the second calling. This is the second calling. For example, now, what is the roll number? Roll number is equal to 2. What is age? Age is equal to XYZ. Name is equal to 30. Now you got my intention? So, whatever the order you are passing, it will take in that order only. Now, check that one. Here, name, roll number, age. Sorry, name, age, here roll number, XYZ is age, 30 is name. Why it takes in that order only? Now you got it. That is the point of positional or requirement argument. Second one, second category is default argument. Default argument, the name specified default means even though you are not providing anything, so it has some default value. So what is the meaning? I will explain the same example. Name is equal to Raju, or else just for your understanding, branch. Here student 1 belongs to some CSC branch, comma, student 2 1. Okay, fine. Student, assume right answer 30. Student 2 is also some CSC branch. Like this, some 10 students are there, all the students are CSC branch. Now what happened? If all the members of same branch, then what is the need of writing this branch many number of times? You got it? In such case, we are moving to default argument. For example, in the function definition, if I return branch is equal to CSC, here you no need to write. Here you no need to write. Automatically it takes. Otherwise, if you have doubt, print branch. See, 1 to 20 ABC CSC, 220 XYZ CSC branch. Now, one more point is there, display of some 3 comma 40 comma some PQR comma, for example, ECA. In this case, what happened? Branch default value is CSC. Whenever you are given ECE, that is updated. So I have some default value. If you are provide any new value, it takes the new value. Otherwise, it takes the default value. Otherwise, it takes. For the last student, observe branch is equal to ECE. See, For the last student, branch is equal to ECE. Think you got it? This is second one, default key. Here it has one restriction. What is the restriction? Suppose name is equal to, one second, voice is not clear. Now it is clear. Now, good. Okay, fine. Okay. Where? Here. Sorry, in this. For example, name is here. I am removing, or else name is equal to some ASD, whatever it is. Take that one. Observe. In this case, what happened? In this case, what happened? So 1 is assigned to roll number, 20 is assigned to age, ABC. My intention is ABC is the branch. ASDF is already name has a default value. ABC is branch. That is my intention. But remember how the system takes. 1 is roll number, 20 is age, and ABC. So I think voice is not clear. Now, so voice is clear. Anyone, please? Voice is clear. Yes, clear. Thank you. Now observe default here. Yes, what happened here? Observe my intention. Default means it has some default value. If you are given a new value, it takes. If you are not given, it uses this old value. So no need to pass all the parameters. But in this example, observe 1 is 20. My intention, I explain my intention. 1 is assigned to roll number, 20 is assigned to age, name is already available with a default value. So ABC is assigned to branch. That is my intention. But how the system takes, 1 is assigned to roll number, 20 is assigned to age, ABC is assigned to name only. Branch does not have any value. You got it? I think you observe the difference. What is the concept here? The concept is all the default parameters must be at the end. One default argument is not followed by non-default argument. Don't confuse. It will execute, it will give one error. See, non-default argument, that is branch, follows default argument, that is name. Again, I will repeat, sir, why it is an error? Why? This is assigned to name only. For this, no value is there. For this, no value is there. Got the point? That is the reason. Everyone remember, in case if you want to use any default arguments, write down all the set of default arguments at the end. At the end. Any non-default at the beginning. If you are interested, you can give the value. If you are not interested, ignore. System takes their own value, but is whatever you are given. Now next one is keyword argument. Observe, in the first one we discussed positional or required argument. this required concept is reduced by using default. Yes or no? Required means compulsory, you not need to pass the value. Default argument is there, not required to pass the value. Exactly. Coming to keyword, what the keyword argument? For example, here I will remove this one just for understanding. Keyword means we are passing the value based on parameter or argument's name. Here, what is argument name? Roll number. RNO is equal to 1, comma, age is equal to 20, comma, name is equal to ABC, comma, branch is equal to some CSC. Now you observe, you are asking one doubt generally. What is the user? Even though you are passing the values directly, the values are assigned. Then again, what is the need of this one? Now I will show you. Name is equal to XYZ, comma, roll number is equal to some 2, comma, branch is equal to some IT, comma, age is equal to some 30. I think you observe what happened? The order. For example, if you are using this one, 40. What happened for the last one? 3 is roll number. PQR is 40 is name. EC is branch. My intention PQR is name, but system does not take like that. PQR is age. Why? The values are passed according to the positions. But if you want to change the order of initialization, why, if I have some 10 parameters, it is very difficult to write all the 10 parameters in the order. You can change. Now in this example, second one, see, name is equal to XYZ. Here observe where the name, here the name, XYZ is assigned. Roll number, for roll number 2 is assigned. For branch IT is assigned. For age 30 is assigned. That is keyword. Based on the keywords, the values are assigned. Observe the output. 2, roll number, name, branch. You got it? That is keyword argument. Next one and the last one, variable variable length argument. So variable length argument means, suppose in this example, we know here I have 4 arguments. Suppose if you are using default branch is equal to CSC, anyway 4 arguments is there. If you want, you can pass the branch value. If you are not interested, ignore the branch value. But we know the count. Yes or no? We know 4 arguments are there, or 3 arguments are there, or 2 arguments are there. Here you need to pass either 2 arguments, 3 arguments, 4 arguments according to the definition. But in some cases, we don't know the number of arguments in advance. For example, if I pass 3 arguments, the function calculates according to 3 arguments. If I pass 10 arguments, the function calculates according to 10 arguments. You got it? Now I will show you DEF, some calculate. Remember, how do you make a variable as, that is a parameter as variable length parameter? Before the parameter, use star symbol. Till now you observe I use direct variable name, roll number, comma, name, comma, age, comma, branch. Suppose before star some variable name, f, you can take any name, that is not a problem, not ampersand, sorry, star. Star f means f is a variable length argument. F is the variable length argument. Actually, here I will write down some statements. Pass. What is means by pass? Pass in the sense the special keyword syntactically within this definition. Here compulsory you need to write at least one statement. Suppose if you are using if or while or for whatever it is, syntactically you need to write one statement at least. Right now you are not interested to write any statement. If you ignore, it gives an error. In such cases, if you return pass means it does not give any syntax errors. Now calculate of someone. Here I call the calculate method with one parameter. Now calculate of 2 comma 3. Again I call the calculate with two parameters. Calculate of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 like this. Now you observe, here I call the method with variable length arguments. Actually, this f is formed in the form of a tuple. Tuple means a sequence. Suppose what I am doing for I in f. For I in f, print I. For I in f, print I. Now, first, whenever you are calling the calculate, here I used one empty print statement. End is equal to, now observe. First, I am calculate this one. So f consists of a single value for I in f. So takes that value, print, coming out of the loop. Yes or no? Print. An empty print means new line. Next to calculate of 2 comma 3. Now f is again a tuple with two parameters. So this f is replaced with 2 comma 3. In the first iteration, I takes the value. Next, second iteration, I takes the value 3, print. Once the for loop is completed, print. Like this. Name calculate. Spelling mistakes. Okay, fine. See, first one happened, second successful, third one is also successful. Here you want, if you want, you can do any type of operations also. Any type of operations also. This is the basic concept of function. Here up to now, what you understand? What is a function? How to create a function? How do we call a function? Then the most important, return type. How do we return a value? You can return either a single value or a set of values. But set of values are separated by comma. Set of values are separated by comma. Next, we will discuss at the time of using the function, depending on the requirements. You can use the parameters, either compulsory parameter, that is required argument or default argument or keyword argument or variable length argument, depending on the situation. For example, if I am filling the student details, generally branch, instead of passing branch value, I use branch is equal to some CSC. If all the students that belongs to CSC, no need to pass. For example, one exceptional case is there ECE, then he only change, then that is updated like that. Like that, you are creating or you are using different types of parameters. Now, now once you understand these parameters functions, immediately you need to know two terms: local variables, global variables. Local variable, global variable. Local means the variables that are defined inside a function. The variables that are defined inside a function. are called local variable. Once we coming out of the function, the variables are destroyed. Global means the variables that are defined outside the function and the variables are used throughout the program. Just for your understanding, I will explain with one example. Suppose x is equal to, first I will write down one function def some f1 without any parameter. X is equal to some 10 print x. Use another function f2 some x is equal to 20 print x. Now call f1, call f2. Anyway, first what happened? We are calling the function f1. Understand carefully. Whenever you are calling the function f1, it goes here. Here, x variable is defined with a value 10. In this example, this x is a local variable, that is x belongs to that function f1 only. That function f1 only. Here you are printing x value. Suppose, sorry, sorry. Now that is completed. This function is completed. Now once the function is completed, cursor move to the next line. Next line, call the function f2. Here I am printing x value, but where is x? Here x is defined in f1, that belongs to f1 only. If you are trying to use in f2, it gives an error. Now see this one. First f1 is printed. In f2, name x is not defined. You got it? Now I think you understand the meaning. Local variable means a variable that is defined inside a function is called local variable. That variable belongs to that function only. That variable belongs to that function only. Now, coming to global, if a variable is defined outside the function, this x is equal to 10 is not belongs to f1, is not belongs to f2. I defined the variable outside. Then that variable is used throughout the program. In f1, what is the value of x10? Here, what is the value of x10? Now execute. 10 to 10. Clear? I think you understand the difference. Local and global. Here, I have one doubt. My doubt is x is equal to 20. For example, assume here the global variable name is x. The local name is a different name, is not a conflict. If the local variable name is also x, then what happened? You got the point? Global variable x is defined with a value 10. Here inside f, local variable is defined x, same x with a value 20. Remember, if both global and local is there, the highest priority is given to the local variable. Whenever you call f1, here it prints x value 20. This x is not updated. This x is equal to 10 memory location is different to x is equal to 20 memory location. Here x is equal to 20, that is inside f1 only. Once we are coming out of the f1, x is destroyed. In x, what is the x? This 10 only. Don't confuse. Original is not at all updated. See, this is the local, this is global. Again, I will repeat. If the global variable and local variable have same name, the highest priority is given to local. Again, you have a doubt, sir. Here, I am changing x is equal to 20. I will explain. Observe here. First, you written x is equal to 10. DEF F1 x is equal to 20. Print x. What happened? Whenever you return this statement, some memory is created x with a value 10. Suppose address 1000. Inside this function, for this function, some memory is created with a name x, value 20 here, address 2000. This address and this address both are different. That is the reason, even though you are changing, it will not affect. Why? This 20 is inside the function. 20 is inside the function. I think everyone clear. Now, I will add one more point. What is the point? Sir, x is the global variable. Here, I want to use x is equal to 20, but the global is to be updated. My aim is update the global also. You got my question? For that, we are using one keyword global space x. So before modifying the value, if you use the keyword global space x, then system consider as x is the global variable. Here if you assigned 20, this is also updated. You got the difference. Previously both are different. Whenever you are using, you only said global x is the global variable. If you are doing any modification here, updates here also, here what is x value? 20 only. Why? Here this updation is done globally, not locally. This updation done globally. Observe 2020. You got it? Again I will repeat. If the global variable, local variable have same name, so local is the priority. Whatever the modification in the local does not update the global. Suppose if you want to make updation, use the global keyword. Use the global keyword. Then global is updated. Now, the last point here, what is x value? 20. But I am not using global keyword. I need x is equal to 10. That is to be also printed. How? See this one. Print. One method is there. Remember, globals. Globals, one method. This syntax is fixed. Globals of within square bracket, write down the parameter. Compulsory you need to follow the syntax. Globals of, after this square bracket within quotation, write x. In this case, what happened? It takes global value. Again I will repeat. Here x is equal to 20. What is the value of x? It prints value 20. Why? Both global and local have same name. Sir, I want to print global also, but the same name. How it is possible? It is possible along with local by using this structured save run. See, first 20 is printed, globals of 10 is printed. Now you understand? I will repeat one more time. Local variable, a variable that is defined inside a function is called local variable, that is accessible inside the function only. Once we are coming out of the function, the variable is destroyed. Global variable, a variable that is defined outside the function is called global variable. That variable is used throughout the function, not a problem. First point. First point. If the global variable and local variable have same name, then then local is priority. The local variable is only printed. Whatever the modification you are done on the local variable, that does not update global. Why? Both are different memory locations. Now, if you want to update the global variable, then by using the keyword global space variable, then in this program, whatever the updation you done, that is updated to global. The last point, I need both the local and global in the same program. By using just a variable name, you are getting local. By using global soft method, we are getting the global variable. This is the function. And anyway, the concept is not at all completed. Okay, so tomorrow also the functions concept is continue. So recursive functions is there, anonymous functions is there, some special function mapu filter are there. We will discuss these functions in the tomorrow session also, not a problem. Till now, in under these functions, if you have any doubt, please ask me. For suppose if f2 is called first, what is x value? Not a problem. Whatever the function you call, if the variable is a global and or local, if it is available, it prints. Otherwise, it is not available. Anyone, please, any doubts? No problem. So if you understand these functions also, then only it is easy to write the program. I think you understand what is the need of function. Instead of writing the same code multiple number of times, only one time if you return the code. How many number of times you want, you can call the function. You can call the function. Got it? What is mean by star f? Remember, before the variable, if you used star symbol, means that is variable length argument. So previously roll number, it can take only one value, name take only one value, age take only one value. Suppose one variable, if you want to store multiple values, use star. Then that is called variable length argument. Whatever the values you are passing, that is form in the form of a tuple. So everyone join this WhatsApp link. Okay. If you have any doubts, please ask me. And any other doubts, whatever the link we shared, please post that doubts in that link. Okay. Global fun, remember, global fun is not valid. Actually, fun is the method name, fun is the function name. Global followed by variable name only. You need to write global followed by variable name. Okay, can I close the session? Okay, that is the end of today's session. Thank you very much. Meet you in the next session. Thank you.